It's a pleasure to take part in this debate on the second day of committee, and I think I would have to say this has been an extraordinarily powerful debate thus far and an absolute indictment of the UK financial sector. I do have to begin by apologising for not taking part in the first day of committee, despite having signed a number of amendments. I'm afraid I was in the genetic technology so-called precision breeding bill, and it's impossible to spread oneself in too many places. But I think the case for both of these amendments, but particularly the Noble Lord Sharkey's, to which I'm pleased to attach my name, Amendment 40, has already been powerfully made, both in this by Noble Lord Sharkey and indeed in the previous amendment by the Noble Lady Baroness Bowles of Berkhamsted. I just wanted to make a couple of additional points. And I draw particularly on a survey by the Federation of Small Business that was published in December. That found that 30% of small and medium-sized enterprises thought that they'd signed financial contracts that contained unfair clauses and provisions. What that survey also found is that successful applications for loans and other financing for SMEs had just fallen precipitously. Less than a half were successful in the third quarter of 2022. Before COVID, two-thirds had been successful. So one of the things that we were always hearing from the government is, oh, rely on the market. People can shop around and choose. Now, we've already heard the reality of the inequality of arms, as the lawyers would put it, between a small business and a giant financial sector company. But there's also no opportunity. Small and medium enterprises have to take money wherever they can get it if they're not lucky enough to get it at all. And what we have here is a practical reality, as Noble Lord Holmes of Richmond just set out. The financial sector is not meeting the needs of the real economy. And that's one of the underlying issues that underlies all of our debate in this bill. Is the financial sector there as a high-stakes casino in which a few people can make a lot of money and the rest of us have to pick up the pieces when it all goes wrong? Or is it actually there to meet the needs of the real economy of our society, to give us a genuinely sustainable, in all senses of the word, society? So I think it's a pity, although perhaps we haven't needed him. The Noble Lord Seeker is not currently in his place and is someone who could also have contributed very powerfully for this debate. But really what we have is a litany of disaster. The FCA has a terrible track record. Your Lordship's committee is trying to do something to fix that, and boy, does it need fixing.
I too would like to